To what's actually going on. The morning that everybody thought that Manchester United were going to be talking about Erik ten Hag, the announcement was supposedly coming. Well, it's not. And INEOS are really starting to piss people off, it would seem, because I was sort of half awake, half asleep, sort of in and out thinking with the time difference, is this news going to break? What's going to happen? What's it going to be? Is Ten Hag staying? Is he going? Well, it's not come, so we have to move on. INEOS clearly not bothered about fan opinion, what fans think. They're just going to go about business as normal. But we're talking Casemiro this morning. We're talking Jadon Sancho. A massive bid apparently coming in from NASSR for Casemiro. That, I think, is probably music to a lot of fans' ears because we are struggling for money, obviously. And the bid that's being talked about, we'll get into that in a minute, is quite outrageous, to be honest, in my opinion. I'll get your thoughts on this as well, but still good if we can manage to get money together. But Sancho as well, I want to talk about him because he apparently is set to go on to the Manchester United tour. There was a little video that went on after the Champions League final, I think, as someone who works for United or around the football club saying, we'll see you on pre-season tour in the US with United. Should Jadon Sancho be on the pre-season tour? That's one thing I want to talk about. But he also has come out and said, according to the Mirror newspaper, that he wants to stay at Manchester United and has got unfinished business there. He wants to prove everybody wrong. But he only wants to come back to Manchester United if Erik ten Hag is no longer at the football club. So we'll get your opinions on that. That's obviously going to boil some piss as well amongst the fan base. But let's start with Casemiro, obviously. The news coming out, I'm just going to read through some of the reports regarding this morning. So Casemiro has been assured that he is a priority for NASSR, and as such, he's understood to be keen on the move. So it will now be between Manchester United and NASSR to reach an agreement over the deal. That from caught offside. Also onto that, NASSR are ready to offer around 90 to 100 million euros to sign Casemiro this summer. That equates to what, 77, 85 million quid for Casemiro. If Manchester United managed to recoup all of that transfer fee that they paid for Casemiro 2 years ago, I'd stand up and applaud Manchester United, and what a bit of business that would be for INEOS in their first pre-season as dual or co-owners of Manchester United. I cannot see United getting anywhere near that amount of money. That is just ludicrous. But you know what? NASSR, the Saudi Pro League, they do pay massive fees, don't they? But just imagine that would just change United's summer completely. Casemiro gone, like I said, if we'd have got 35, 40 million for Casemiro, I'd have been chuffed to bits. I'd have been over the moon with that. That's good business from United, recouping what, 2/3 of his fee that we paid for him 2 years ago. He's going into his early 30s now. He's going to be 32 soon. Then that is massive business for Manchester United. And I just feel like these stories coming out like caught offside, whether you take them seriously or not, I mean, you look at that and go, that just seems a bit ludicrous, doesn't it? It really does. 70 odd million for Casemiro, 2 years on from what United paid that for him. They're willing to pay his wages as well over there. So I think as Casemiro, when you break it down as him as a player now, I think it's probably the right move. There are reports, like you can see at the bottom of your screen there, from Marca in Spain, saying that Cristiano Ronaldo has already contacted Casemiro and said, and told him to come over to the Saudi Pro League. I don't know how much that, I mean, players will talk, won't they, if anything. Ronaldo and Casemiro have probably been in conversation, but still, I think he just needs to look at it and where he is at in his career. He has suffered the back end of this season. I think he is, I think he has dropped off the pace. I think he struggles with injuries earlier on in the season. Obviously, as we know, he was out for a period of time, came back, looked like he was ready to go. There's that obvious fallout between him and Ten Hag and what's happening. Do you think that Casemiro, and I want to get your opinions on this in the chat now, guys, do you feel like if Ten Hag is sacked, do you think Casemiro would hang around just to see? Because apparently he has fallen out with Ten Hag, and that's what the whole kerfuffle was regarding the FA Cup final. So I'm not too sure whether or not he would try and hang around, or maybe try and get another year out of Manchester United. Would he want to, with the likes of Varane leaving, possibly other senior players going? I personally think it's the right time. We've had 2 seasons out of him. The first season was excellent. The second season, not so good as we've just seen, but still contributed his part, has been a big part of the seniority of the football club, like I said, with younger players coming through. He's an absolute model professional. But if there was a time and there was an offer on the table upwards of, I can say it again, like upwards of 30 million, I think United have to take that. But if there's a massive bid coming in, then that's like winning the lottery for Manchester United in the situation we're in right now with money. We have to be jumping on any bid above 30 million for Casemiro, in my opinion. And he's a player that we do need to let go and be on the lookout for a replacement for. But I'll get into your comments on Casemiro now. You're presuming we'll get to spend all of any sales. I suspect we'll be lucky to spend 50% of any income. I'm beginning to see Ineos are no saviour for United. Why would you think that though, Gary? Again, like any bit of news coming out of Manchester United right now is just absolutely putting people off Ineos. Everyone is going in on what is happening like a week into the summer. I don't understand it, but still, yeah, I can see where you would be thinking that under the old regime. I do think that Manchester United's sales would be put straight back into the football club. Otherwise, it's pointless Ineos making these big statements. Decent fee for Casemiro, 30 million, and he jumped on the plane to go to vacation. I think everyone would, to be honest, after that season at United. I'm not blaming Casemiro for going on holiday straight away. I mean, Scott McTominay was in Ibiza one day after the FA Cup final, so I think I would be straight on a plane. If I knew I didn't have an international duty, I'd be like, where are we going? See you later. Let's get away for a little bit. I like Bruno being a brilliant player for us in bad times as well, but if he wants to go, then sell him. I don't think Manchester United can be selling Bruno and Casemiro in the same summer, personally. That's where I would be concerned, because then I'd be looking at Ineos and what's going on right now with what players are supposedly coming into Manchester United. We cannot lose Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes in the same summer, I don't think. I think if Casemiro goes, I think we do need to keep hold of Bruno. We need someone in that midfield, because let's not forget, we haven't settled in on Amrabat yet. So a summer of Bruno, Amrabat and Casemiro leaving the football club, as well as Christian Eriksen, that's too much. That is way too much. And I know everybody wants to see the big statement from Ineos. I know everyone wants to see big moves and really stamping their authority on Manchester United, but still, that's a bit drastic. That is drastic for Manchester United to get rid of all three. So I don't think we're going to be going down that road. I really don't. I think Casemiro has to be priority ahead of Bruno for getting rid of. But then, like we discussed over the last 2 days with Bruno Fernandes, it all comes down to him. If he's not happy with the project, maybe Bruno would be looking at Casemiro and going, well, if he's going, who's coming in? What are Ineos's ambitions at the football club? Maybe Bruno, obviously, is good mates with Casemiro. We have that clique of Portuguese and Brazilian and South American players at the football club. It seems like we are breaking that up right now. Like, we do have to move Casemiro on, I feel, but I think Bruno is in a very similar position to what Wayne Rooney was back in the day with Sir Alex Ferguson. If he sees like the big players all leaving Manchester United, he is coming into the last 2 years of his contract, at the end of his career pretty much, or the twilight of his career. He's going to be asking questions as to like, what's the ambition? And this will be saying a lot if Casemiro leaves. So I think it's all intertwined. And I look at Casemiro, I can see that happening definitely for him. Bruno Fernandes, I can see why he would want to leave. Obviously, Amrabat, they've not made a decision on him. Eriksen, I can see why he would want to. I can see why every single Manchester United player that's been rumoured to go would want to. And the only player that really sticks around for me, for the wrong reasons, is Marcus Rashford. It's like the one player who doesn't want to go because he's been given the world, obviously. So if Rashford feels like he's number one at Manchester United, I think Rashford feels comfortable. And I think that is the problem that I think Ten Hag struggled with in balancing the players, and probably why there has been fallout with the likes of Casemiro. I think we've obviously seen the stories regarding Dalot and Bruno with Højlund that we've spoken about before. All of the leaks coming around with the unrest within Carrington, Anthony's issue as well. And I look at it and I go, and like we said last week, like 1 week into the summer, there's a lot of work to do for Manchester United, and nothing happening is going to bring up comments like we've had so far in the fan base, with a lot of fans like really starting to question Ineos's tactics for the summer. I think that's where Manchester United fans are at the moment. The unknown is killing everybody, and where we want these clear-outs to happen, when does it start happening? Like, when does it officially start happening? I don't think they're going to wait for the Ten Hag decision. I think they'll just get on with business as normal. Hopefully they do, because we know how much we need to do. So I can see why the fans are the way they are. I'll get into some more of the comments now. Just see what we've got there. No player bigger than the club, says Ryan. No, definitely not. No, I don't think Casemiro will stay. Ineos will want to cash in on him now. I think Casemiro's the easiest sell out of everyone this summer for Ineos, because Sir Jim had a big issue with the purchase of Casemiro. We all know them stories that were going around when he was taking his tour around Manchester United, looking into the club. He was questioning the purchase of Casemiro at the time, like the sell-on factor. Why are we spending so much money on a player that's not going to last 2 years? And it does look like 2 years up and Casemiro is going out of the door. So I think he's right on that one. So I can see that one definitely happening. They may have replacements for those players. They are telling us nothing, says Andrew. I really hope that's the case, Andrew, because everything going on behind closed doors, Manchester United getting players lined up, ready for players that are leaving the football club. I think that's what everybody wants, and that's what everyone's fairy tale story is with United, and that's the ending we're going to get from this summer. An organised outfit, ready to go. I mean, you just don't know, do you? You just don't know, and it is the unknown, and when it's the unknown, it starts to worry. And a lot of fans are starting to panic a little bit right now, because other clubs are starting to move into position for certain players. We're hearing a lot more stories regarding players ready to sign for the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea, our rivals around us. It won't be long before all the other big guns are also in for their targets as well. And we're going to be sat here going, what about United? What's going on there? So, yeah, I mean, I've liked Casemiro. I think he's been a good player for Manchester United. But it just opens up so many doors. It absolutely destroys financial fair play because of his wages and us actually getting a fee for him as well. It takes out of the equation what we would lose for the Champions League completely. And that, I think, is somewhere around 60 million. And this is only if these crazy stories this morning regarding the NASSR bid from the caught offside story regarding it being around 70 million for Casemiro. That would just, like I said before, that's open season. That is Manchester United winning the lottery. That's what that is. Welcome to the Members Club, Paul. Thank you very much, mate. Anyone who does want to join, the join button is right at the bottom of the screen there, guys. We are opening up a lot of the members features to other people as well going into the new season as well, so stay tuned for that. Please do hit the like button. We're creeping up to the 100 mark already, everybody. And no, if you are just tuning in this morning, there still is no news regarding Erik ten Hag. Everyone's having a bit of a meltdown regarding that. Everyone is well, we're just waiting for confirmation. I think people want to know if ten Hag goes, does that open up the doors for everything else that's supposed to happen this summer? Do we just have to accept that Ineos are going to just do things their way? They really don't care about what we think or what anyone else thinks in the world of football and how they run their business. And that's the way it should be, and that's good in a way. But like we've just been talking about there, with every single issue that there is at Manchester United right now, this is why everyone is stressing out a little bit. So I think the news will come. I don't know if it's going to come today. I just looked, I had a little quick scour through Twitter, and it's like everyone's even got like readiness ready to go. This is the biggest day in Manchester United's history, managerial-wise, since Sir Alex Ferguson left and all of that. There's so many people waiting for the news to break on Ten Hag. I don't think anyone really cares about anything else, but the importance of everything else is still there. And Manchester United just need to get on with business now. I don't know how long Ten Hag's holiday would be. He's been away a week now, so maybe we're going to see them pictures of Ten Hag driving into Carrington and everyone's flashing cameras and everything's going to be going on. Everyone's going to be waiting for the news to break from there. I mean, everyone is just trying to get into what contacts they've got at the football club right now. And the media are just in a complete meltdown with it. And do you know what? It's good to see because Ineos are keeping everything in-house. But really, no one knows what's going on at all. And I think when it does break, it's going to be like, whoa, okay, what is the better outcome here? Is it going to be easy for United to move on this summer with Erik ten Hag? Is it going to be easier with a new manager in place to get all of these people in and these signings in? Or is it just, it doesn't matter either way? Ineos are just doing business as normal because they want to run the ship, basically. That's where we're at. But still, I hope it comes soon. I hope it does come today, tomorrow at least, just so everyone can sort of like know where we stand. Like, there's no reason why fans should know everything that's going on at the football club. I'm not one to say that. I'm not one to think that. I think Ineos should just do their business how they want to do it. But I do get the part where like it would just put everyone's minds at ease. Just get it done, get the decision made. Let's just get on with it, for God's sake, because we have got so much to do. I think it'll be. I'm guessing though. I'm guessing. I've got no idea like everybody else. I think it'll be today or tomorrow. So hopefully we'll be ready to go, and everyone will be tuned in, ready. I think everyone's at work right now, just looking at Twitter, waiting for breaking news to come through about what's happening. And no one cares about anything else until this. It just feels like no one cares about what's happening at the football club until we get clarification on Erik ten Hag. It's crazy right now what's going on at the football club. I'm just going to go back into the chat to see where you guys are. No, I get that, but we should know the manager situation now. It should be an easy decision. Do you want him or not? That's what everyone's asking. It's like Kaz said to me this morning. He said, like, what are they doing? Why are they waiting like so long? I don't understand it. Why can't they just make the decision? Surely they would have known. And like Kaz's look on it was like, I would actually question Ineos if they didn't have a plan already. Are they judging the season solely off that one game in the FA Cup final? What's the delay? Is it just because there is no one else that they think is good enough for Manchester United to manage this football club? Could just be as simple as that, and that's valid, because there is a debate whether or not the candidates are good enough. Like, I've given my opinion on it and who I think would be better coming in, but that's not the same as everyone else's, and maybe that's what it is with Ineos right now and everything going on behind the scenes. But I'm sure over the next couple of days it will come, and we'll all be ready for it. Casemiro was getting jogged past like he was at a traffic cone all last season. Hard to justify keeping a player like that on his wage, but he's not who I'd be selling first. Oof. I mean, you can see why, but I get that. I do get that, why you would want to keep Casemiro. He's not the professional player that you want to be losing at your football club, but you can see why Casemiro would leave. That's, I think, where a lot of people are at. Mayo Red says, if Ten Hag is staying, the club don't actually need to make a statement. They never publicly said they were sacking him. They will make a statement, no, Mayo. They will. The news will come out, I feel. If it's not a statement, the news will come out that we know he's staying. They do have to come out and say, look, they are keeping with Ten Hag because he's into the last year of his contract. And I think that also is a part of it. Like, there is probably a negotiation going on right now with Ten Hag about a new deal, because they're going to have to back whoever's coming in, or if Ten Hag is staying, they're going to have to give him that new deal and commit to them. I think Ten Hag would want that as well. So I think that will happen as well. I think we will get an announcement. If Ten Hag stays, I think we'll get an announcement about a new contract. Obviously, we have to make an announcement if Ten Hag is going now. Compass Smith, the club are quick to take fans' money, but don't mind subjecting them to more mental torture as they do hone over a decision that they already made previously. It's true. That's true. It is annoying how we have to renew our memberships and renew our season tickets the season before. Like we did it. What was it, in May? Now we're into June now. Money's in the bank. Come on, let's get going, and let's give the fans a little bit of clarity going forward. Like, they've spent a fortune and we're going to be spending their money in the transfer market, so maybe let's actually give them a little bit of news and put everyone at ease, maybe. We won't get Eze. He's a top target for Spurs, according to reports. Plus, they have more money than us to spend, which is sad, Gary. It is sad. 2 more likes till we hit the 100 mark. Please, guys, get on to the likes. Thank you, everybody. Players new and current want to know who they're playing for. Get on with it, United. For F's sake, says Timo. Thursday announcement, guaranteed, says Byron. I hope not, because that's when I'm flying bleeding back. And everything will happen while I'm in the bleeding air again. I know it. Pain in the ass. Has anyone else ever actually said they are planning on moving Erik ten Hag on? It just seems like media speculation to me. Big Bad Phil, I totally get that, but they haven't backed Ten Hag either. Like, what the reason why it's happening is because every other person at the football club has been moved on or let go, and someone else has come in. There's only the manager. So you expect an announcement regarding the manager as well going forward. You have to. You have to. Director of Football says, let them cook. The best meals take time to cook. We all want clarity, but the old United would react to fans. Would the old United react to fans and what they want? These guys are professionals, and I'm enjoying the chess game. Trust the process. Director of Football, well in with Ineos there. I'm liking it. Maybe Bruno need to go, and we can play Mount next season. Yeah, a dream mix. I think that would be a dream if we could rely on Mason Mount actually being fit. We can't, and that's the problem. They were looking for a cheaper option than Erik ten Hag. That's why we were interested in McKenna. A manager situation, a manager appointment, I feel, would not be one you want to be skimping and scraping around the edges with. I think you need to be fully committed and pay what's necessary for a manager. And that's what's important. Super chat in from Uzar, thank you. Mark is the GOAT. Yeah, cheers for that, mate. I don't know who you're talking about. You need to put a surname probably on that one as well, just so we know who. Mark Lambridge in the chat, apparently you're the GOAT, mate. I would agree, because you are very knowledgeable about football, unlike some people. Where are United touring this pre-season? Erik ten Hag to stay for me, get the players in he requires. They're in the States, mate, which takes us to the next bit, actually, which is Jadon Sancho's situation. Obviously, he was asked, he wasn't so much asked walking out of the Champions League final. Obviously, in the mixed zone, journalists take what opportunities they can, people take what chances they can, and I think he was asked the question. It wasn't so much asked, it was said, I'll see you in pre-season for Manchester United. Should Jadon Sancho be on Manchester United's pre-season tour? He has to be if the club haven't got any dealings done. It goes back to the problem that we've got, that I was talking about a few minutes ago regarding Manchester United with getting everything done. Like, the situation with Sancho is that if no announcement's made soon, we are, what, just over a month and a half away from going on pre-season tour now after the Euros. Jadon Sancho will be on the pre-season tour. He has to be on the pre-season tour. Unless they want to make the statement and just leave him at Carrington and have him training on his own, then we're going back to square one again, aren't we? So, looking at it, I feel like we're saying right now, Jadon Sancho coming back to Manchester United from his loan spell. We've got Palestra coming back from his loan spell, a few other players coming back as well, all going to be asking questions when they come in. And if United haven't got the managerial situation sorted, then it's just going to cause absolute chaos amongst Manchester United and within the football club, I feel, because agents are going to be pestering the club. They're going to be forcing this announcement on everybody, I feel, these players that are out on loan at the moment. Jadon Sancho wants to come back to Manchester United, though, apparently, according to John Cross, who was reporting on this yesterday afternoon. I was reading through it, and it pretty much read that the stories regarding Jadon Sancho not wanting to come back to United at all aren't true. Jadon Sancho does want to come back to Manchester United and prove to everybody that he can make it in the Premier League and at United, but he doesn't want to do it with Erik ten Hag as manager. So again, another decision hanging around. Jadon Sancho isn't in the Euros, so he's going to be going out on his jolly holidays, and his agent will be all over Manchester United again, like, what is going on? Have we got to move away for Jadon? Can we negotiate with Dortmund? Can you take a loss? Are you going to bring Jadon Sancho back? If Ten Hag is there, then United need to get on with making that a priority. You've got Mason Greenwood to bring into the situation as well. There's no clarity on him there, and as days go by and weeks go on, more and more questions are going to start being asked, and there's going to be no answers there. It's going to be just met with, we still don't know. And this is the problem with no announcement being made. that starts to pile up everything. And that, for me, I feel is basically where the issue is at Manchester United right now. So looking at it, an announcement anytime soon would be, I would probably be a happy United fan, because we're looking at it and going, we need clarity on everything. I think everybody else is in the same boat. The Sancho situation going to end up playing out with Lukaku's Chelsea contract, multiple loans incoming. Players like that just like turn into journeymen that were looked at one point as the best and the possible best that they could be. And then all of a sudden they turn into them journeymen because no one can handle them and they think they're bigger than what they are. Hopefully Jadon Sancho doesn't turn into that person. Hopefully he is a player that gets some, I'd say, good advice and actually knuckles down and actually becomes a player that we know he can be. Like, he's played well for Dortmund, but I just don't think he's got what it takes to handle Manchester United in the Premier League. It's a quicker league. No disrespect to the Bundesliga, but the Premier League is harder. And I just think any player coming to Manchester United, they're going to be dealing with issues in handling what is playing for Manchester United. He's just one of them players that we've seen many before that's gone past that haven't been able to make it. Tracy says, if Erik ten Hag goes, I'd give Sancho another go, one last chance. That's interesting. I don't think there's many people that would say that. If Ineos wanted Erik ten Hag, they would have killed speculation off by saying he will be the manager next season. You would have thought anyway. Yeah, don't worry, Graham. Good to have you in, mate. You can always catch up, buddy. Don't need either player. Will make it a very toxic dressing room again. But another manager might want him. That's the problem we've got. Ryan says, I thought Lukaku was a bit underrated at United. He had a brilliant first season, but I get the criticism of his build-up play. Yeah, I think what Lukaku's done in his career after that has probably been proving Manchester United right in getting rid of him at the right time. And I just feel like we're quick to judge players for what they've done at United, and we have our thoughts from what we've watched on players on the pitch and how they played for United, like we have with Sancho. And I don't think that Sancho has had a good season at United while he's been here. But Lukaku did have a good season, but Manchester United are in a position where we could have worked with Lukaku, but the fallout with the managers and everything that he is, and it's been proven again because he's fallen out and he's disrespected quite a few other clubs. How was disrespected them? I don't know, but he's fallen out with quite a few clubs along the line now, and he seems to do it everywhere he goes. So I think United made the right decision with Lukaku. And this is like proof that, you know what, maybe we should just cut ties with Jadon Sancho instead of trying. Like, you know, sometimes a player just doesn't fit at a football club. And Jadon Sancho probably falls into that bracket with Manchester United. It just never worked. He just never seemed to get a consistent run of games for me, and I don't think he was ever going to, because he never did enough. There were games in Europe, I think the Europa League season from 2 seasons back, when he had players running past him in the Europa League, like he'd give the ball away at the edge of the box and straight away the alarm bells are ringing there. And like, he'd lost the ball and about 5 players ran past him, including 2 of his own players off his mistake. Something we've seen with Marcus Rashford this season quite a bit actually as well. So I think that is where Ten Hag looks at Jadon Sancho. Like, and that's why he wasn't playing him consistently. And then all the problems came on top of that after that, which are the ones that we know with the big fallout with him. But you still got to look at it and go, he wasn't playing well. He wasn't. Greco, Sancho, get rid, only come back if the manager goes. Ridiculous, need all players with bad attitude gone, plain and simple. Yep, Greco, I think that's how everyone's going to be looking at it. Barbaro, United need 2 centre-back, 2 midfielders, a striker, a left-back. Elise is supposed to be the main signing. Yeah, there's other news regarding Elise and him not looking likely for Manchester United right now. Like, the reports from the media, one saying one thing, one saying another. It's contrasting opinions right now amongst the media with Elise. If United are looking to strengthen the spine of the side, then Elise shouldn't be priority. I think if we do sell Casemiro, then Elise and players like that, deals for them sort of players open up very quickly for us, because apparently we have got enough money to buy a centre-back, a centre midfielder and a centre-forward. Some would say we need 2 of each of them positions, but let's just say we get 1 of each of them positions. Then we've sold Casemiro. Any money from sales then would go into other areas of the pitch. But it's a centre-back, it's a centre midfielder and it's a striker. They're the main 3 that we can expect to see in at Manchester United. That's the bare minimum. If we sell Greenwood, sell Casemiro, manage to sell Sancho, then you're probably going to see the left back, you're probably going to see the right-sided or the wide player or an extra bit of something from someone. But that, honestly, I feel is with Ten Hag as manager. I think that's what he knows we need. And obviously he would have told Ineos what's needed. So every bit of news regarding transfers at the moment, I feel, has come from the word and the analysis of the season from what Ten Hag and his team have done. It's not from a new manager. Like, Ineos cannot come in and say United need this, this and this. They would have to have asked Erik Ten Hag his opinion on what he thinks we need. They would have had to have got some input off Ten Hag. Are they just getting that input off Ten Hag now and then analysing everything and then saying, see you later, we know what we need now, we've watched enough back? Is this what the delay is with everything going on at the football club? That's a possibility as well. So, yeah. Stu Valp says, Sancho who? That's what a lot of people will be saying. What's we got? We are not important, says Jim Glazer and Ineos Adam, as far as announcements are concerned. They don't care. I said that all along, Ken, mate. I've not got an issue with how they want to run Manchester United. I just feel like they could respect the fans a little bit by getting the decisions made over the manager situation, so we all know what's happening. And then, you know what? Go do what you've got to do. Go do what you've got to do. Transfers take time. Transfers take time. We're used to it as a United fan base, but the manager situation definitely needs to be rectified ASAP, in my opinion, now. Like, the week's gone. I said last week I didn't expect anything. When we got the news of the review, like all week going on, I thought, you know what? Yeah, we'll give them the week. Ten Hag's had his holiday at least, and then he can come back and he can sort out. From this point forward, I think we need to start hopefully hearing something from the football club regarding Ten Hag and what's actually happening. Because, do you know what it's like? If you're Sancho, if you're Palestra, Greenwood, in fact, anyone out there right now on the peripheral who United could use, you're looking in on the manager situation right now and you're going, there is a chance for me at Manchester United still. There has to be. Palestra comes right back into the equation again. Personally, I think Palestra will be sold. I think they want to sell Sancho. But a new manager comes in, it just throws it all up in the air. Are Ineos looking at that? Is it too much for a first season? Do they keep Ten Hag? Do they, like we said before, do they actually make up some contract where it's got an achievement factor in it and a new one signed for him at the end of the season? I don't know if that's possible, I don't know, but we're guessing at the moment because no announcement comes out, and this is what happens amongst the fan base when we don't get any news from the club, and it is just rumour mill constantly all the time at the moment. I'm just going to check through news just to see if anything else has come about. Just bear with me a second, guys. Let's just check. Yep. It looks like there's work going on at Old Trafford by the looks of it. Just seeing a picture there. What else have we got going on here? Carrick signed a new deal at Middlesbrough. That's good. Smart decision there from him. Yeah, absolutely nothing of significance at all regarding news on what we're all waiting for, the obvious. Let me just read through a few more of your comments. Ahmad done more in a United shirt in a few games than Sancho. That's an argument, yeah. Could say that. A few more likes away from the 150 mark, guys. If you could get that up. Get your questions in now. Let me know what you're thinking. Anything you want to ask me or any points you want to get across. Jonathan's in the chat there. I don't want Sancho back. It's an easy decision because he's a good player but not a great player. It's a fair point. I think that takes all of the argument regarding who was right and who was wrong in the argument and fallout between him and Ten Hag, and just putting it basically back down into football like Jonathan's done there. It's like, was Sancho good enough in the first place? No. Like, there's a clear decision. If you get the opportunity to sell Sancho, then he has to go. Does he fit into United's side in the way that we're playing? No. For me, I don't think he works hard enough. He works nowhere near hard enough. And yeah, he may work at Dortmund. He may well work at Dortmund, but Dortmund is not Man United. The Bundesliga is not the Premier League. The scrutiny, the people watching the Bundesliga, it's got nothing on the Premier League. All eyes are on the Premier League, and the pressure is constantly there. And I said, like, people haven't been watching Jadon Sancho week in, week out in Dortmund. No one's been tuning in, watching every single minute of his time at the football club. He may have been playing crap in between. He's had some highlighted games, done well in the Champions League, and Dortmund have had a pretty good run, well, a very good run in the Champions League, and it's just got highlighted to another level. But United have done well in getting that loan fee and that bit of extra money out of Jadon Sancho. I mean, from the start of the January transfer window, I don't think it could have gone any better for Manchester United with the Jadon Sancho situation. So I think they'll look at that and go, we've got a bit of money out of him. Obviously, some of his wages have been paid. Let's see if we can get rid of him now. Can you imagine Jadon Sancho's wage, Varane's, Casemiro's and Anthony Martial's all gone in one summer? PSR and financial fair play in the bag with that. Super chat from Andrew saying, Adam gained fame by being himself a proper United fan like the rest of us. Thank you, Andrew. I don't know. I think there was a bit of a numpty in the chat, wasn't there? He was trying it on. But yeah. You didn't have to do a super chat on that one, Andrew. Cheers for that, mate. Damasio squeaky bum time, says Tom in the super chat. Well, a lot of these journalists that put their names to these big calls that they made in the media are definitely sweating on it a little bit now. 100%. Did anyone notice Bruno and Rashford aren't in the new training tops pictured launched? Casemiro is. Anthony is. I don't even look into the pictures, and they're done ages ago. Like, the kits would all have been ready. I think they've been done like a month, 2 months ago. I don't think it really matters, but it's funny how you should bring that up because everyone just jumps on any little bit of speculation they possibly can at this time of year. It's silly season and it's in full swing now. Has there been contact to Bayern midfielder who is to be paid with Menu? I'm not sure what you're on about there, Mark. Contact to Bayern midfielder who is not sure at all what you're on about. Sorry, mate. United's big breaking news today was launching a new training kit. Joke. No communication with fans other than asking for more money. Keep up the good work, mate. Enjoy the rest of your holiday. I certainly will, guys. And on that note, with no news actually coming in, I'm going to finish up the show, everybody. I just wanted to say a massive thank you again. Sorry about the late start and the delay at the top of the stream. I was actually running on something else, talking to myself. Yeah, I lost it. But yeah, thanks again, guys. All the super chats, new members, everyone who has been in, contributed. We've had over 150 likes as well, guys. So absolutely buzzing with that. Just as I do that, all you guys start actually sending me loads of decent messages in as well. I appreciate that, guys. I'll get through as many as I can later. We might have more news later. We'll be covering it, of course, here on FUTV. I'll be jumping off the lounger straight to the laptop, going over what's been said or what's announced. But the clock is ticking for today anyway, and we're running out of time already. We're already into Monday afternoon. Is it going to be announced? Is it not? Are we going to be waiting another day? All of these questions, I think United need to get on with, start answering, to be honest. But for us, for now, guys, cheers for watching, and I will see you all later on this afternoon, probably. I don't know what we're talking about, but hey, hopefully it's a little bit more clarity. But until then, guys, thank you.